All right, welcome into today's video. I don't know about any of you guys, but personally, I've been kind of feeling a little lost in life, and I don't want this React channel to be only like memes or funny videos or anything like that. So I've decided that we're gonna watch a clip from the Joe Rogan podcast with Naval Ravikant. Sorry, I apologize for butchering that. I actually listened to a podcast very recently with Naval on Chris Williamson's Modern Wisdom, and I really like his, I guess, perspective on life. So I don't know, and any of you that may know anything about Naval, he likes to kind of live life as he so chooses. He doesn't set bedtime alarms. Wake up alarms. He kind of just he very consistently goes to the gym. I know that much recently. But he wakes up whenever he wants. He goes to bed whenever he wants. He stays consistent, and it's very interesting to me. And I want to choose to live life kind of that way, where I can pick whatever schedule I want, where I can work whenever I want and sleep whenever I want. I mean, I'm kind of doing that right now because it's 12:30 right now. It is the middle of the night, and I'm recording this. And yeah, so I just figured that you guys would all enjoy kind of what is the meaning to life, and we're gonna hear like kind of a short clip of what Naval or even Joe Rogan kind of think of that. So I hope you guys all enjoy, and yeah.
The Joe Rogan experience.
I was dealing with a question of
This
stupid
is
topic,
Naval
but
right here.
the meaning of life. Right? What's the meaning?
How could that be stupid, though?
Well, in a sense,
it's trite.
It's trite. You're not supposed to think about it. It's something you ask your parents when you're young.
Yes.
They tell you don't worry about it, or they say
Go get a job, hippie.
Yeah, exactly. Go get a job, you freaking hippie. Or here's God. God is the meaning of life, right?
Yeah.
And so I was just trying to resolve for myself, like, what could the answer be? Right? Not what is the answer, but what could the answer be? And so at a core level, I was forced to kind of hunt down all these weird little things and really understand for myself. And it's got to be personal, right? But I have to establish for myself what it could and could not be. And that gave me some level of peace. So now I don't have to keep asking that question.
What is the meaning of life?
I think the question is more interesting than the answer. Everyone should explore this on their own. But let me just explore a few parts with you, right?
Okay.
So first is,
Just to recap right there, what he's saying is kind of like you should find your own meaning to your own life. We all have different purposes that we find within our lives. Some of us find religion, some of us find a passion to, let's say, work. But, you should find that for yourself and not get lost in basically the confusion that is the world right now. Because what we all end up doing is we try to follow somebody else. We try to be a part of this popular crowd or the cool crowd, and we don't really even need that. Find what is important to you and then live life around that or around yourself. Obviously, we're only 1 minute into this, so maybe I'm speaking a little bit ahead. Let's see what Naval has to say, and then maybe I'll recap at the end.
if I gave you an answer, if I said the meaning of life is to please God, well, which God? Okay, Judeo-Christian God. Well, okay, why that one? Why this thing? The problem is it's a why question. You can keep asking why forever, right? Any answer I give you, you'll just ask why again, why again,
like
why
a little
again.
kid.
That's right. And you end up in a place called Agrippa's trilemma. Okay, this is a philosophical exercise, but I kind of thought it through, then Googled around, and there's a thing called Agrippa's trilemma. And Agrippa's trilemma says that any questioning like this, the why, will always end in one of three places. Okay, first is infinite regress, right? Why? Because of this. Why that? Why that? And just keep going forever.
Mhm.
The second is circular reasoning. Well, A. Why A? Because of B. Well, why B? Because of A. Right? You get trapped in that. Or the third is an axiom. And the most popular axiom is God, but it could be anything because of math, because of science, because of the Big Bang, because of simulation, right? These are all axioms. These are all just stopping points. Saying simulation, we're in a simulation, or saying it's the Big Bang is just another way of saying God. It's just, God's a dirty word, so we don't use it as much anymore, but same thing. So you end up in one of these three dead ends, essentially, right? So there is no answer. The real answer is because. Right?
What is the meaning of life?
Yeah, you get to make up your own answer is the beauty. If there was a single answer, we would not be free. We would be trapped. Because then we would all have to live to that answer. Then we'd be Borg-like robots, each one competing with each other to fulfill that single meaning more than the others. Back to signaling, like I'm better at it than you are. But luckily there is no answer. So you just do whatever you want.
The meaning of life. It's funny that that's the basis of all existential angst. That you don't
know why you're here.
And you have this feeling that it could be meaningless. It is. I mean, when you start pondering the multiverse, the universe, the galaxies, the solar system, the planet, the organism, the cells inside the organism, the bacteria, the parasites,
right,
the symbiotic relation.
So when he really talks about this, I always wonder how many people are actually super afraid. Like let's say you go outside. Let's say you go outside, you look up, you see the infinite abyss of nothingness. And do you ever actually realize how small you are in this massive universe that is infinitely going and infinitely growing? Because me personally, I've never feared that. I've never had a bother with that. But I have met some people that are afraid at how minute they actually are in the ever existing existence. They feel they can't. How's the best way to word this? They can't figure out why they feel like they're nothing. And I mean, of course, in the end, what we do is really a whole lot of nothing. In the grand scheme of the infinite universe, there's nothing that we do that affects the greater good of really anybody. And even let's talk about this for a second. Let's say Elon Musk, right? SpaceX program, Tesla. He has all these incredible things that are just massive things that affect the daily life of the world. And he's trying to get people to Mars. He has all these cars all over the place. But in the end, how great of an impact is he making on the infinite universe that there is? He's made massive steps in human history in the impact that he creates for human life as of the present day. That is the best way I can word it. And it's very interesting to think about because so many people get very scared and terrified when they realize that how small they are in the infinite universe. And when you can look at it in two ways. You can look at it as in you are not much. There's nothing you can do that's going to make an impact. Or you can look at it as in you can do whatever you want because it's not going to matter that much in the end. You can live your life however you want, and it's not going to make that big of a difference. And in a way, I look at that as a positive. That's the way I like to live my life. I will live my life however I want every single day because I know it's not going to matter or bother anybody. When you look at it in the end, it's not going to matter. So why live life for the approval of anybody? Just live life for you. I don't know. That's just how I personally feel. Let's see what Joe Rogan has to say.
Relationship we have to our environment, and you start going, Jesus Christ, what? Am I just a little piece of this thing? It's like...
Well, the answers to all the great questions are paradoxes.
Yeah.
So, for example, you're asking, do I matter? That's really the question you asked, right? Well, how do I matter in this infinite universe? Well, on the one hand, you're separate. No 2 points are the same. Every 2 points are infinitely different. You're completely separated. No one will have your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your experience. So your life is a single player game. You're trapped inside your head and you're just aware of a bunch of things going on, and that's
a
it.
great analogy.
On the other hand, I cannot say the word Joe Rogan without invoking the entire universe. Joe Rogan, alien comes along, says, what's that? Joe Rogan. What's Joe Rogan? It's a human. What's a human? Bipedal ape. What's an ape on the earth? What's the earth? Planet. What's a planet? Solar system. Where was the carbon made? Inside stars, right? It's like I have to create the entire universe to just say the words Joe Rogan. So in that sense, you're connected to everything. It's inseparable. So the answer to that question of do I matter is I am nothing and I am everything. And you'll find this with all the great questions. The answers are all paradoxes, which is why at some level it's sort of pointless to pursue them, to find a trite answer like I'm giving. But the act of pursuing them is actually really useful, because then it gives you certain intrinsic understanding in your life that brings a level of peace.
So that was what's the meaning of life and that's with Joe Rogan and Naval Ravikant, or however you want to say it. And I mean, my final thoughts, I mean, I basically discussed that entire thing with you guys. I look at life in a different way than everybody else. Not everybody else, but I look at life in a different way than other people within my life look at it. And really, when you think about it, the meaning of life is to just live life. I can't tell you how to live your life. The meaning of life is to find the meaning of life within yourself. Whether that is through God, whether that is through let's say, I don't know how many people actually find the meaning of life through work. Just find it within yourself, and that is the meaning of life. Why do you want to live day in and day out each day? And once you figure that out, you figure out your own life. You figured out why you should be living your life every single day. What gets you out of that bed every single morning? That's the question. What is the meaning of life at that point? What are you striving for? What are you passionate about? And I know I talked about this earlier. Let's say, I mean, obviously we're very small in the grand scheme of the universe, but what makes you want to make a difference in this world, or not even make a difference? What makes you want to get up and just live your life? That is the meaning to life. And the way Naval lives his life is the best way that I've ever seen. And I would like to watch more clips of Naval, and especially like clips from Modern Wisdom that I was listening to earlier this week, because it is so incredible on his perspective in life and the way that he lives his life. So if you guys would like to see more of that, please let me know down in the comments, or by even just leaving a like, and I will happily watch more videos of Naval. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios.